This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
Now it's time for your Pick'em Pros starting lineups. From Glendale, Arizona, the princess of Pick'em Pros and award-winning sports storyteller, Pick'em Pros athlete correspondent Brianna. Lamar Jackson and Los Angeles Lakers apologist, Pick'em Pros sports analyst Christopher C. Payne Davis. From Raleigh, North Carolina, the Carolina Panthers homer and back-to-back NFL picking champion, host and picking guru of Pick'em Pros, Diego Thompson. From Warrenville, Illinois, the winner of Season 1's NFL Picks, the host and head coach of Pick'em Pros, Derek Thompson. Now, coming to you live from the Pick'em Pro studio, here are your Pick'em Pros.
Making plays is our profession. Do it big, it's now or never. I got game like I'm moving clever. We be reaching all different levels.
Yeah. Oh, man, another episode here. So, Diego, you are out. Your Warriors, man. Sorry, man, you didn't make it. Christopher C. Payne Davis, your Lakers lost about a year ago. And so, I'm the last man standing. You know, Brianna, we didn't hear Brianna's pick. So I know she got OKC, but that was late, so that doesn't technically count. So I'm the champ. I'm the default champion, man, with my Celtics. We got a clip here of our guy Diego, and then we're going to start the show. Pick'em Pros.
Okay, we're on record. Diego, who you got in the finals facing off and who's winning?
I got the Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. Just like 2022. And just like 2022, we're going to beat them. Because, we got both of their owners in the team. Steph owned them 3 years ago, beat him in the finals, beat Udoka, beat all the crew. Jimmy Butler 2 years ago, beat the Boston Celtics in 7 to go to the NBA Finals. You pair both of those guys together, oh boy, that's just, you can't stop that. You just can't stop it. Okay, I don't see how you stop it. Like
we're gonna submit you to be drug tested.
And then Lakers, we just beat them 2 weeks ago. They're too small. They can't mess with us. First finals, OKC, they're too young. They don't have enough experience. We beat them.
And you're too old.
Well, we have all the experience, and we have two amazing playoff players.
Gosh. Okay. So
easy.
So the Warriors is gonna be Warriors Celtics repeat 2022. Warriors win the championship is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Easy, he says. Woo. Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek, the champion Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
I'm C. Payne, Christopher Davis.
And who are we?
The Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house with a special episode 135 of Who You Got. Oh, man, beautiful day, man. It's just the weather's great. We got Joe running things here in the studio. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Summer behind the scenes. Shout out to Brandon behind the scenes. Everyone that makes Pick'em Pros go. Everybody watching the show. Thank you so much. Diego, my man, you don't have AAU today. Yeah. So happy to have you here. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Y'all expect me to act all sad and stuff. I mean, sure, we lost. That's not what we wanted. But, I mean, we didn't have Curry, and we all knew if we had Curry, we would have won the championship. So, I mean, all the stuff I said in there is not – I wasn't lying. And we would have beat all those teams, and we still own the Celtics. So, yeah.
Gotcha. I was going to ask about that, second best playoff player that you had in Jimmy Butler and his shot attempts.
Yeah.
Him.
Nice.
You feel me? Was not really acting like him. He was a little shy. He was a little gun shy.
Hemmy's Robin, okay? He said himself that he's Robin. He was without Batman. See, when Robin fights without Batman, he's always going to lose, just always going to lose. Because they need Batman, They didn't have Batman.
I wish I'm a comic nerd up here, but you got to turn into Nightwing sometimes, man. You got to pull. You got to listen. Yeah. When Batman go, you gonna need to turn to Nightwing, Red Hood, somebody. You can't be Robin all the time.
Somebody.
You got to do something.
No Nightwing, just Robin.
All right.
Man, Man, yeah, man. So let's stay on this for a little bit because we are in NFL playoff mode. We got games. This is such a beautiful time of year to have games every night, isn't it, Chris?
It is.
It's just so great to have games every single night, especially those of us that pick teams that are still in it. It's great to have.
You only got a few more hours left.
Clock's ticking. Pumpkin is about
about 2 days. 2 days.
Yes, I'm the champion. No matter what happens, my team has gone the furthest.
No, but see,
so I have yet another ring on my finger.
Technically, it's a tie though because we both we both lost in the same round. You didn't advance farther than me.
Have I lost?
You're good.
Am I missing something?
Once you lose, you wouldn't have advanced farther than me. We both lost in the same round. If you advanced, that means you would have won, but you didn't.
Okay.
So this is the same.
It's
the same.
If for some reason the Knicks get lucky tonight, I still would have gone further. Okay. So yeah, I got it.
So you lost. You lost
man.
The same amount. We lost the same amount of games. Okay, lost the same amount.
Stop trying to hang on to my championship. This is my championship. This is mine.
If we had Curry,
mine and only mine.
If we had Curry would win his 5th championship and be in the GOAT conversation. So, you know what I'm saying? He'd be right there with Jordan.
I tried to in that clip. I said you're too old. I said you're too old. Just like I told C-Pain, when something looks too good to be true. See, all this wisdom. This is this father and uncle wisdom that I am imparting on you, young bucks, man.
It's just like
you guys are gonna be there one day, man. You're gonna have all this wisdom and you're gonna be spewing it. But right now, you just learn it. Just learn. Peep gang. Peep gang.
Appreciate you, Unc. Appreciate you for that.
Yeah. But fly jersey.
That's football season, so I mean,
it's football season
already. That's football season. Yeah,
football
schedule
season
release.
Football season is long way away. The schedule's out, but the only people playing football right now is Clayton High School. Those are the only people playing football right now. That's it. That's it. They're working on those run plays. Jet sweeps. That's what they're working on. We ain't passing. All right. So let's go, man. Let's get into this first topic here. Let's get into the injuries.
The injuries. You see that? Injuries.
Here's the cop out. Here it comes, people.
That's right.
Here it comes.
Let's get into these injuries here. Okay, because there have been a lot of injuries. Okay, Steph Curry pulled his hammy, for those of you that don't know. Okay, Jason Tatum. Okay, he had an injury, tore his Achilles, although Boston stepped up and won and swung the ball, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know why I brought that up. Damian Lillard, he again tore his Achilles, and there's just been a lot of injuries even before. The Cavs dealt with a lot of injuries. Diego, have the injuries tainted the NBA playoffs?
I wouldn't. I mean, the playoffs still been really entertaining, but as far as like who's advancing, this definitely affected it. Like, I mean, we all know Curry would have, carried them to win that series and for the championship. I mean, that was affected. The Celtics I think the Celtics would have came back from 2-0 if they had Tatum and beat them. Milwaukee, if they had Dame, I think the Pacers would have been gone in the first round. And the Cavs, I had 3 starters, 2 All-Stars out, and that cost them to lose to the Pacers. So
yes.
They've definitely affected it, but the playoffs, they've still been entertaining. There's still been a lot of good games going on.
Okay. All right.
What about you, I never want to be a contrarian on this, but again, in NBA history, injuries have been a part of literally every single playoff race, every playoff journey. I mean, Draymond even came up after the series and said, hey, listen, I won a finals with Kevin Love and Kyrie, or I would think that we would still win, but because of those injuries, it did swing it. Right. And then
and one thing, I'm sorry to cut you off, but LeBron, he had the injury also, right? What was
he got
ACL,
in Game 5.
Game 5 was something. Game 5, So that was it. My bad.
I forgot about LeBron.
He was all right. Y'all just blew my mood. I was happy. I was in a good mood. We wasn't talking about the Lakers. We was just gonna focus on the Warriors. Listen, but no, you had to bring me back here anyway. But with that injury and with everything that's gone on during these playoffs, it's still been entertaining. It still has been fun seeing up and coming teams. I did want to ask how do you think the Cavs series was shaped? Because I'm of the opinion of you were up by 8 in game 2. Even with Donovan Mitchell doing his full thing, having an all-time Donovan Mitchell game. How do you forget do an inbounds pass 4 straight times. You feel me? How do you stop? How do you not get the rebound with and let Tyrese Halliburton get the rebound?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And let him get you for game.
Yeah.
So that contributed to why they lost that series more than them being hurt. And again, Darius Garland was not himself, and that was tough.
Yeah.
But again, I don't trust Darius Garland in those big moments. I'm sorry. I trust Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley was showing me something. Jared Allen was showing me something. DeAndre Hunter, he ain't do much except get the guy ejected. So it's like, did that really contribute, or were the Cavs fake? What do you think?
Man, I think it was injuries, and I don't like how everybody is not giving the Cavs a pass for that. Everyone is saying that, the Cavs lost that series. They're giving Indiana a whole lot of credit for that series. I personally feel that the Cavs are going to be back next year, and I'm buying all the Cavs stock for next year, because if the East is going to be in the state that it is right now and the Cavs come back whole, same roster, I'm putting the Cavs in the NBA Finals easily, because tell me another team that loses 3 starters that's going to win the series. I don't know of any team. And so it's baffling to me that they don't get a pass for having 3 starters hurt, but every other team that had injuries, Golden State loses 1 player, 1 Hall of Fame, all-time top 10, great player. But still, they lose 3 starters, and all of a sudden they choked and this and that. I think that's totally unfair. I'm buying Cavs stock for next season. If there is any place I can go and put something on it, I will put something on it right now.
Yeah. Also, the Cavs. Yeah, they definitely would have beat the Pacers if they were healthy.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. NBA Finals. I like that take for next year. NBA Finals, Cavs.
Yeah.
They got a lot to prove, and Mitchell is one of the best playoff performers in the league. So it definitely happened.
Mitchell, man, I saw that fire in Mitchell's eye. He was looking serious, man. And shout out to him, because he played his heart out. Again, was hunched over, looking like Luka. He was so tired at the end of those games, but no, he's gonna be. All right, man. He's gonna be ready. He's gonna be ready next year.
And guess where he and Luka are at? On the couch, because again, it was not enough. And listen, I'm not gonna talk bad about Donovan Mitchell because he shows up every playoffs, but I'm just getting more and more concerned with the fact that he hasn't gotten past the second round. Which again, it's like. But again, and to me, it's like, it's the East. Like, I get it when you were with Utah. You feel me? You were running into some dogs. And I'm like, listen, it's the East. And you're like a 1 seed typically. Like, there's no way you're not getting past some of these guys.
So this is the first year he's been a 1 seed. Like last year they ran to Boston. Year before that it was the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have got that. But I mean, last year you passed.
But yeah, I give him a pass this year. You can, if you're going to get on him, I'd say that series against the Knicks, I think that's more of an indictment than this year or any other year.
Definitely.
But I believe in them. I believe in Mitchell. I believe in them. And he's one of the few teams, he's one of the few players, I should say, that can carry his team to a second round appearance. Heck, the Freak can't even carry his team to the second round anymore. Oh, so, man. And we all put Freak in, top 5. But let's bring in Brianna, our athlete correspondent, because we've got to get her take on this. And she said Knicks in 5. Okay. So, Knicks, you might be okay with that, but definitely not Knicks in 5.
No, not in 5. But if they win tonight, they could win.
It could be something you got. So it is your guy. Okay. So which Mikal Bridges is going to show up tonight? All right, is it going to be the one that's all brash, talking junk, hitting shots, talking about we here, we ain't scared, and all of that? Or is it going to be the one that showed up in the last game when the Knicks got blown out? Which one are we getting today, Bree?
The first one. He's gonna be there and he's gonna be ready. And his defense, he's gonna get all the rebounds. He's gonna be amazing.
Gonna be on one. All right, so that New York Knicks crowd. They're gonna have the battery pack in his back, and he's gonna be doing this thing tonight.
Yep, they're all gonna be good supporters, and they're gonna help him be the best he can tonight.
Okay. All right. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I got the Knicks tonight.
Listen,
Yes.
they got it. They got to win tonight. It can't go back to Boston because again, we're on the precipice of history. Everybody's joking about what's going to happen if New York can potentially win the finals because now it's looking like. I mean, I don't even know where we talk about this Nuggets Thunder series. Who's going to come on top of that? But like, I mean, if they play the Wolves, I think it's possible. I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what the Knicks can do.
Yeah. So, because we'll talk about the Celtics in a minute, but just staying on the injuries for a minute here. Bree, we need to get your take on the injuries. How do you feel? Have they tainted the playoffs at all for you?
No, I mean, all the teams that I think are going to win, all the players on the other teams that I don't think are going to get hurt, so it kind of helps my odds. Even though I feel bad for like Stephen Curry, obviously I feel bad because I mean, I loved him so much. You know, I even had a jingle for him when I was little. Like, I'm not going to say it because it's embarrassing. But, you know, I do like Steph Curry, so I feel bad for him, obviously. But, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really care. I think it helps me in the end. Which sounds so bad, but, I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they are.
Back, so it's okay. Like to play for Game 6, maybe, possibly. So.
Okay. Yeah, they are part of the game. You know, last year, I mean, Brunson had his injury, and you know, there's always a team that's impacted. So a lot of winning the championship, it's a war of attrition. So you have to stay healthy. Some luck involved. There's a lot of different factors involved, but health is definitely a big factor.
Yes.
So and you know, and even speaking of Brunson, we may talk about that a little more. But with Brunson, seems like every other game he tweaks that ankle.
Yes.
He does.
And he goes in, gets something done, comes back, but I don't know. If he keeps doing that every game, every other game,
something gonna happen.
Yeah, that could not help them.
Yeah.
Especially against the Pacers, where magically the star gets hurt. So
that's my concern.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Bree. Well, I know again you're doing a bunch of great interviews for us. I know we've got Will Hernandez coming up, so we've got that coming out next week.
Yeah.
So really excited about that. So great job there. And I think we'll be seeing you later on today or tonight to talk about the NFL schedule.
Yes.
So, and I know our guy Diego will be super excited to talk some NFL to get away from basketball.
Carolina Panthers. We're hype.
All right.
Cool. All right, Bree. Well, we'll see you a little later. Okay.
Got to find joy in the void. I've already been playing it. Shoot, I've been playing it a week early, Diego. You're finally, actually no, 2 weeks early technically. Yeah. You finally arrived on schedule. Let's Carolina Panther time.
Oh yeah,
Panther almost. All right, we'll relieve you guys and talk a little bit of Panthers later. Let me acknowledge some of the comments that I've been seeing. So, Big 3 is starting soon. So, Brandon, I know you put that out there. So yeah, that's founded. They start soon. I think they had their draft. I think there was a player you messaged me and told me that I think it was it Lance Stevenson? I think it was that you said is playing with there was a player that you mentioned that's playing Big 3. A lot of big people are playing there. So a lot of great things happening. WNBA, I think, also starts tonight. So we've got that. And then I also saw a comment of Josh with his Cavs. And I think he is definitely a big Cavs fan. And so I think he liked the fact that there's somebody taking up for him. Yes, Lance Stevenson. Okay. He will join the Big 3. I thought so. Yeah. So that's big, man. Lance Stevenson. Love that. All right. Well, we're going to talk Celtics here in a moment. All right. Yeah. Now Knicks are going to lose tonight. But before we do that, we want to again plug. We will be at Kings here in Raleigh, North Carolina, 3 weeks from tomorrow. Oh, man, we got a fire show. Guests are being lined up. We got like 7 guests. We got all types of people coming through. So we're going to have music as always. We got high school athletes. We've got Gridiron Gang football team, people to be named later. A lot of folks coming through. So you definitely want to come through and get your picks. And then let's see. Was that a question? Second chance picks. Who we got winning the championship? So actually let's tackle this. So a question from Josh. Second chance. Who do you guys have winning the championship? So, of course, I don't have to. I'm still in it, so I don't have to give a second chance pick. But for you two guys, since you have to give a second chance pick, why don't you go ahead and give your second chance pick since you have to do that? Diego, when we start with you.
You might as well repick because you gotta.
I'm good.
You got a few hours left. Man.
No, I'm good.
TikTok Cinderella. All right, let's see.
I got OKC. OKC versus Boston. No, not Boston. OKC. They got Tatum. OKC versus the Knicks.
Okay.
In the finals, I'm getting taken OKC in 5 against the Knicks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I got. Actually, after that Nuggets performance, I'm a little scared.
Ooh.
I'm a little scared.
Okay.
I'm stick with OKC.
Okay.
I gotta hope that these young. I'm just so weirded out that they haven't announced the MVP yet, and if they like announce it at the end of the game, regardless, if somebody loses. Somebody said like WWE style, just hang it above the ring like a championship belt, and let's just hang it in the arena, something like that. But man,
cool. Yeah,
I still have OKC winning it versus the Knicks, but I'm I don't know. Jokic and that guy Strother, like he just came out of nowhere last night. I don't know.
Never seen.
I ain't never never heard of him off the bench. All of a sudden, it's just like, oh, all right, now he's dogging them. So we gonna see. But I got OKC still, but I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. Well, again, Josh, I'm sticking with my original pick that I made. Then I still have OKC and Celtics in the finals. I'm gonna stick with that, so I don't have to.
Oh, you're sticking with Boston then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Okay. It's still in
You're gonna be repicking.
So the mind was like a little shifty there. All right, man.
No. Sticking with it. I'm
not
good.
Nervous at all without Jason Tatum.
And so speaking of the Celtics, now it's time to talk about the Celtics. All right. So don't underestimate the heart of a champion. All right. The Celtics have 4 Olympians on the team. All right. 3 officially, 1 unofficial Olympian. So one of those Olympians and all-stars, all world players is out. And Jason Tatum, get well soon, Tatum. However, the Celtics have a very strong team, very capable team. And they actually have a team that, as you saw from Game 5, that will be able to move the ball a little more, be a little more scrappy, swing the ball, swing, get those open shots. And they're just going to kind of play more of a grit and grind Knicks style. But the Celtics are so talented, they can play Knick ball better than the Knicks. So that's exactly what's going to happen tonight. And then, oh, man. Ooh, that thing go back to Boston Monday night. Man, I might get a last-minute ticket to roll out there and be out there, man. Me and my guy Julian probably roll through Boston and be hanging with Bobby Brown and Ricky and Mike and go down there and check out the Celtics. So, yeah, man, it's a beautiful weekend. It's a great time to be alive. What's your take on the Celtics, man?
Well, that's not gonna happen because they're gonna lose tonight. Jalen Brunson, he took that 6th foul so that he could get some extra rest that ankle.
Very smart.
Yeah, very smart. Rest that ankle for his next game.
Yep.
And close it on out. I expect a 40-piece. 10 assists, something like that, and knock the Celtics out and get ready for next year.
Okay, well, but my question is, what kind of defense is Brunson gonna play tonight?
I mean, we don't need defense. They got Mikal Bridges, they got Josh Hart, they got Cat. Never mind. They got Mikal Bridges and Hart, but yeah.
Okay.
They got some defense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Cat thing took me out, but I think that when it comes to your team, again, the Celtics are so good, but I feel like the Knicks have to rise to this occasion. Like, you have to dispel the little brother in the East rumor. This is you're at home. They don't have their best player, who again was literally going toe to toe with y'all, and they don't got that guy no more. Again, it's just y'all got Derek White. That we shot the ball, dudes. You feel me? Y'all are crazy. Y'all are all timers. But like, I think that like when it comes to how well he played last game, that's what scares me, because you don't factor for that all the time. You're just like, oh, we got to stop Jalen, and we got to like stop Kristaps from getting on the boards. You're not going to count for Derek White hitting 5 threes. You're not going to count for Peyton Pritchard or Luke or Luke Cornett locking down defensively. So this has to be, and I know that you just throw a lot of shade at Cat. Cat's got to dominate. This can't be one of those games where Cat decides, to turn into Big Purr. You feel me? Like this ain't the time for that. This ain't the time for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Cat got to turn up.
yeah.
He cannot be Big Purr.
Man, Minnesota pulled the Dallas Mavs.
Yeah, wasn't that bad? I wonder how long. I wonder if Julius Randle's going to be playing like this next year.
Yeah,
once he gets paid.
Once he gets paid.
Shoot, I ain't never seen him play this good in the playoffs. That's what I was counting on for why we were winning.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Now
really
we turned him up. Apparently, we gave him the confidence. It was like beating us, and then he was like, "Oh wait, I'm Julius Randle."
I didn't even mean to like throw a shade at Cat there, but I was just thinking like the 7 feet, like physically imposing. And I was like, oh yeah, he just doesn't play defense.
And is always in foul trouble. So Cat.
Yes, somehow always gets in foul trouble while playing no defense.
Always. I don't know if he wants to get a rest or something or go to the bench, but I don't know. That was actually a Shaq tactic. So like if Shaq, I remember he has a hilarious story of like he had a huge birthday party planned and he really didn't feel like playing. So he purposely got like 2 quick fouls to start the game to be on the bench. So yeah, that is a real thing that they will do. Wow. And like you said, Brunson smartly got his 6th foul because Tibbs would have just kept him in the game the whole time.
Probably would have broke his ankle.
Oh, we can come back. We got this. No, dude, please, y'all are down.
Derrick Rose,
please.
Not gonna Derrick Rose.
Man, we don't even need to mention that.
No, that's just a tragedy, man. But okay, well, yeah. So Celtics, man, can't wait. But this show will be over by the time, so we'll talk about it next week. And if the Celtics win, we might have an emergency show. And if something goes the other way, we'll just wait. Talk about it.
So we gotta wait. But y'all was quick. Y'all was quick with the Lakers. Day after everybody texted me.
There was a very high demand, so we had to put something together.
Everybody texted me.
We had to do something.
What happened, Chris?
We couldn't even make it into the studio. We had a shot from home.
But y'all lost healthy. I mean, if the Celtics lose, they don't have Tatum, and we lost without Curry. Y'all lost with healthy LeBron, healthy Luka.
His leg was hurt though.
No, not switching my pick.
Oh,
no,
LeBron was hurt. So.
Don't need to switch my pick. I'm good, confident. Yeah, we got, like I said, we got two Olympians on the team. Another guy that could have been an Olympian, all-stars. Another $300 million guy on the roster. We got plenty of ammunition. So, all right, Minnesota. Yeah, a lot of people are on the Minnesota train now. All of a sudden, so we got to talk Minnesota when we get to that. So next topic, let's go ahead and talk about the game 7. All right, Nuggets and OKC. So wasn't sure if it was going to go 7. Looked like OKC might go ahead and be able to take care of business early, but again, part of a champion. Nuggets showed up at home. I knew that was going to be a tough one for the OKC Thunder to get. They didn't want to go out like that. The crowd represented, but that game actually turned at the end of the first half because the Thunder were up by about 10-ish points in the last couple of minutes. And your guy SGA got his 4th foul.
Yeah.
All right, and that was a foul. He fouled. I don't know what he was doing, why he was reaching like that. But then they just kept he was on the bench. I thought they actually should have just kept him in the game at that point because it's like, okay, you're letting the game slip anyway. The odds of him getting his 5th foul, I think, were very slim. I just would have rolled the dice because they ended up losing the game because of that anyhow. So roll the dice and hopefully you can keep that lead. But that gave the Nuggets all the momentum when they pretty much erased that lead going into halftime. I think Dort hit a 3 at the end, so they were up 3. But all the momentum had been taken away. But I felt like the game changed at that point. So what's your take on this game 7? What do you think is going to happen, man? What we have to look out for, Diego?
Yeah, I got OKC in this game. I think they're going to bounce back. And so they got the home court, which I think is huge. The crowd's going to be hype. And I think Jalen Williams is going to play a lot better because now people have been doubting him a little bit, because he went like 3 for 15 at like 6 points.
He shot tour dates his whole playoffs. Like let's that. Like this been, you feel me? It's just like
it's been rough for him, but I think he's going to show up when needed. Chet and the whole crew. And SGA, I think he's going to watch his foul trouble too, because he knows how big of an impact that can leave on OKC. So going with him.
Now, is it also we want to talk conspiracy theory? Okay. When has SGA or any star player ever gotten 4 fouls in the first half? You know what I'm saying? So we want to talk conspirzy theory. Did the NBA want a game 7? Because that's what we all really wanted. But one more thing before we go to UC Payne. Diego, the t-shirt game at OKC, man, what are they gonna do? I mean, man, shout out to OKC and their crowd with their t-shirt game, man. How they all have the same shirt. I don't see how they coordinate and do that. Even when they go with the two-tone, one half has blue and the other half has white. What do you think they're gonna roll out tonight?
I think they're gonna do black and blue, or either black and blue or like maybe orange blue. I don't know.
Ooh,
I think orange. Yeah, just orange.
Just orange. That'd be fire.
Yeah, that would be fire. I'd predict a black and blue since they did white and blue last game.
I love that. Yeah, and I don't even see how. And everyone people are all different sizes. So I'm like, all right, how do you coordinate that and make sure everyone has the right size? And I don't know. I'm just fascinated by how they,
especially because the Warriors, they got people sitting front court that don't even have anything associated with Warriors.
There's Oracle Arena with them strength and numbers shirts. Y'all, I'm telling you, that would
that gold
every single time watching every Golden State series, it was terrifying because that was Warriors chance. Steph hits a big 3, Clay heats up. It was
great.
That is the definition of Oracle. I miss Oracle though. I miss Oracle Arena for real.
Not anymore.
No, Chase Center is or it's definitely depleted right down there. It's not good. I hope they do all white though. For me personally, like bring back that whole like Russ, KD feeling all white.
Right.
Just
do that. Have some towels going.
Yeah, just have a white out.
All right,
have a white out
shirt and towel.
Yeah,
nice. It'll be hot. All right. So what's your take on this game? I think you already kind of touched on it, but
I mean, the true battle for the MVP at this point in everybody's mind, regardless of like who ends up winning it.
Okay.
I mean, this is like the defining performance of like who everybody's going to view the MVP this year, because you already see people, especially after Jokic's like 40-point game this series, where it was like, oh, he's the best player, but his team sucks. And now his team finally shows up, and everybody like all of a sudden conveniently forgets that narrative. It's like, oh, but Jokic is still. It's like we can't have it both ways with this MVP argument. So Shea, don't foul, bro. This is the time to show up, man, because you're going up against Game 7. I think that like, what was it? I think Game 5. And Jokic started to hit those like Jokic type shots. Finally, like cued the Thunder into like, oh, this is what we actually have to face and deal with.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I do think again, NBA conspiracy theory. They know how good these playoffs have been. They know how good this Nuggets. You got to extend the series with the 2 MVP candidates at least. I feel like Kate. There's no reason not to do that. Even with Celtics Knicks. I mean, why wouldn't you extend that Boston New York rivalry? So hey. Adam Silver is pressing the right buttons after the whole ratings discourse discussion earlier this season. The playoffs have been really fire. So shout out to him.
Yeah. They have been fire. I just hope they don't like last year end with a dud.
Yeah.
And that's where you can really see the injuries come into play. So the injuries, they have altered some series, but it's still been entertaining and exciting to see, especially having a good game every night.
Yeah.
But at some point it takes its toll. And we could possibly see, depending on how things go, the finals, unfortunately, is where we might I hope not, but that's where we might realize the, playoffs not living up, because last year was like, the West seems like the Western Conference semifinals and finals are like the NBA finals in this year. And so I don't know what can be better than this OKC Denver series. That definitely, this definitely feels like the NBA finals. In a lot of ways.
And then after that, it's like whoever the Wolves play. Like that's I'm excited.
Yeah, that's we'll have to touch on that in a little bit when we talk SGA and Ant. But because a lot of people are now jumping on the Minnesota train. Now all of a sudden their team is so complete and no holes when we were all throwing darts at it before.
Now all of a sudden they're this complete team because they beat a Steph Curry-less, Warrior squad. So I think there's a little bit of recency bias going on there, but we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, but next, let's go ahead and talk about our Indiana Pacers. All right, Indiana Pacers. And there are some people on this set who have been extremely critical of the Indiana Pacers.
Yes. Please note that possessive pronoun. This man just said our Indiana Pacers. All right, let's watch back a couple episodes real quick, people. Hold on. I'll let you cook. Do your thing.
So the Pacers beat the Cavs, or the Cavs were depleted. Beat them in 5 games. Won the other series, I believe they won that in 5. So they won 5-5. Now they are in. What's up, Johnny O? So Indiana is here, and so have you guys overlooked them?
Man. I remember being.
Are they getting lucky? We see some comments that say mixed bag so far.
Hold on. I remember being the only one saying that they were a sleeper team, and everybody looked at me like I had chicken.
You did.
I developed like a second head on the side of my neck.
We will find that clip.
Everybody was looking at me crazy. Now, was I slightly overrating Tyrese Halliburton at this point? He didn't realize that they have a bunch of killers on that team. Pascal Siakam is one of the better playoff performers right now in the East. Yeah. Miles Turner, even though he's all in trade rumors every single year, regardless of the playoffs, he's going to show up, defend well, hit his threes. Andrew Nembhard, like, all of a sudden becomes one of the best shooters we've ever seen. Obi Toppin plays really well. Like, they're so well-rounded where Tyrese doesn't necessarily have to play that Trae Young role of like, oh, I have to shoot and be the main distributor of the offense. It's like, all I got to do is get everything set up for everybody else to eat. And then like pick my spots in the big moments to win. So I like that formula. Now, it is boring because everybody's like, oh, well, there's not like a star. It's not like it's grabbing me. It's not like a name. You feel me? Because Pascal Siakam doesn't have the same name value of like Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
But they're such a good team. They're very well-rounded. And again, Celtics fans were during that like sweep last year were like, hey, these games were close. So also shout out to my friend DJ for like getting the series right because he did predict Pacers at 5, and I looked at him crazy before, but like
big shout out.
He was
big shout out.
He was on that. He was on that for sure.
Okay. Yeah, big shout out. Okay. So Diego, did you underestimate the Pacers, man?
No. You said the Pacers are a sleeper team. Well, I'm still asleep. I'm not woken up.
All right, man.
I'm still asleep.
All right, so, conference finals, and you asleep. All right, bro.
Yes, I am. I'm still asleep.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, who were relying on Kyle Kuzma to step up, and Dame tore his Achilles. So an injured team. Then they go the next round. They go against the Cavs, who were without 3 starters and 2 All-Stars. Win that, everyone's going all crazy, and then they got an easy ride to the conference finals.
Okay,
and it's just I just don't see it. And Tyrese Halliburton just doing all types of crazy 360 passes. You said he's swinging the ball. He's definitely swinging the ball. Yeah, he's definitely swinging it. He seemed like a great teatmate. I think everyone probably loved to play with him.
Oh yeah.
He feeds everybody the rock for sure.
He would dish that ball. And shout out to Julian. Can we bring that comment back up? I did see that. Yeah. So Pacers fan, thank you for checking us out. We really appreciate you. So Julian, you gotta bear with us because we like to mess with the Pacers, but it's all in fun. So don't take it personally. We like to mess with the Pacers and have fun with them. But we really appreciate you checking us out. So, and they are dangerous. They are a dangerous team. I will give them that. I've given them a lot of grief here. I've talked a lot of trash. Some I meant, some I didn't. But we'll see, man. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the next round. It's interesting. If for some reason, I just have this funny feeling, if the Knicks can somehow knock the Celtics off because they don't have Tatum, I could definitely see the Pacers beating the Knicks. I could definitely see that for a couple of reasons. I mean, one, the Pacers play really good defense, so they definitely do that. But then also, Brunson, this is not to take anything away from the Pacers. This truly is not a shot. I'm worried about Brunson with him continuing to tweak that ankle. He cannot keep doing that every single game. One of these days, he's not going to come back. So I think the Pacers have a lot going for them. They have a lot on their side. They definitely, have been disrespected.
And so they've got a lot of motivation and a lot to play for. So I would not be shocked, especially if the Knicks do their thing. I would not be shocked to see them in the finals.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
That would be really, really
Definitely.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see something like last year happening. With that series.
Yeah. That'll be a trip. All right. Well, hey man, but they're in the Eastern Conference Finals back to back. A lot of teams that maybe aren't as stacked from top to bottom. When they do make that run, they don't come back like the Hawks that year. We haven't heard from them since.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? It's just so credit to that. It does take a lot to come back, even if you have some things bounce your way. Got to give them credit. So we'll see. The biggest question is going to be, if they do make it to the finals, does dad get to come back? Halliburton's dad.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Listen, you got. Even though it was mad disrespectful what he said to Giannis, you gotta let you gotta see your son hoop in the finals, man. That's a family dream right there. You feel me? We could talk about how out of pocket that was to just jump in Giannis's face and like talk all that trash and stuff. And very disrespectful. But
I think he'll stay quiet if you can.
Yeah, like shoot, what's in the final?
Yeah.
Busting up, just doing nothing. Man, I wouldn't even say a word. I'll just be like, oh, good shot.
For real.
Get a golf clap real quick. You feel me?
He will be
like
on
his
his best.
PGA Tour, because you can't.
Man, he'll be on his best behavior. All right. Okay, cool. Well, I know y'all are ready for this, man. Let's talk a little bit of NFL, and then we'll come back to NBA. But let's talk about the NFL schedule. All right, some of these big games that are coming up, the schedule has been released. Man, and I'm just blown away by all that every single team does to announce the schedule. Like they're just, I'd say, man, the NFL, I mean, there's no better. The NBA used to be the ultimate marketing machine and the way they marketed, but who markets better than the NFL?
Yes.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Man, my goodness. But what are you excited for, Diego?
Man, the game I have my eye on in particular is Week 12 Monday Night Football. Carolina Panthers versus San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
This is the first time in 7 years we have had our own Monday Night Football game. It's really crazy. Coming off a year we had no primetime games. This is big for us, and we're gonna go into San Francisco, overpaid Brock Purdy, And Christian McCaffrey, we're the ones that built Christian McCaffrey up. Christian McCaffrey would not be the same without us. So we
not the same without him. So I don't know what.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that he came from us. So we start. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna beat him, and that's gonna be a thing. Everybody's gonna be excited to after Monday come home from school, work, and turn on the Carolina Panthers game. That's how it's going to be.
Now, are we sure? Have we verified that this is not a doubleheader?
No, it is not a doubleheader. Not a doubleheader.
This is a solo game. Solo Sunday game.
Solo. Monday Night Football.
Monday Night
Monday night. Yeah, because we know it's not Sunday night. Because if they ever get on Sunday night, because the Sunday night is the new Monday night. So that the true game of the week is the Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
But still, not going to take nothing away from the
I've
Panthers.
never seen the Panthers playing a Sunday night game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever
7-8 years.
2016.
We have to check. Brandon, that might be a job for you, Brandon. You have to let us know.
Wow.
If the Panthers ever played on a Sunday night. Well, probably in the Cam days. Because I think I do remember them playing Seattle, actually.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I think they did in the Cam days. But all right.
It's been about
Cam
10
days
years.
was the last days. It's almost we're coming up on a decade of that, man, which is crazy. Because I saw an old Panthers highlight. 2015 looked like 2005 clips. I was like, oh, I am getting old now. That is scary.
Yeah.
But I'm actually most excited for Ravens Bills week 1 because listen, our great MVP star discussion. Week 1 is going to week 1 Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sunday night it's going to get real spicy. Listen, let Lamar go to Buffalo, win that one. I'm already.
Hey, the season is the regular season.
I got you. It is the regular season.
He probably win the MVP, which means he's probably not going to win the Super Bowl.
That is true. I have heard Lamar is in the lead for the MVP right now for the regular season. So Ravens
by 30.
I think if he at least throws for 200 yards
and gets a touchdown, I think he
Wow.
will be in the lead for MVP.
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
For
That's
sure.
a lot of
Yeah.
shade right there. All right. Man had an Aaron Rodgers season. No, don't get me started on this one right now. Don't get me started on this one right now. We already have the Lakers stuff. I got to stay focused. But Ravens, Bills, and then for me, the Eagles, Commanders matchups during the next.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, again, two great teams. I mean, again, Commanders surprise team. How do they build on that? How do they build against going up against a Super Bowl team in their division?
Mhm.
And then on top of that, you see the comebacks that Jaden Daniels has had versus them, especially last year. I'm very excited to see those matchups as well. But yeah, Ravens, Bills, and both the Eagles, Commanders games for me, I'm most excited to see.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to see that. Well, Brianna, we got to bring our homegirl back, Princess Pick'em Pros, Brianna. What's going on, Bree?
Nothing much.
All right. So, now, Bree, we know you got about 5 teams. All right, we know you have many teams from your world travels. So I believe you got the Falcons, you got the Lions, you got the Cardinals. Who else you have? Panthers?
No.
Not the Panthers.
Wow.
Yet. Okay.
That was a quick no,
crazy.
man. Hey,
Not even in consideration. It's crazy.
that was the quickest no I've ever heard.
I'm not hesitant. It's what I feel.
Okay. All right. So that's 3 strong ones that I mentioned. Who am I missing?
It's not 5. It's just the 3. But
Okay,
the Falcons are like less than it's the
Okay.
Lions and the Cardinals. See, Cardinals.
Okay. Lions, Cardinals. Okay,
Yeah.
so then Falcons are just a little.
Yeah, they're just
okay,
like
all right.
if like they're
Okay,
playing
no,
against like a team, and I'm just watching it. I'm gonna go for the Falcons. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got you. So what has your attention as far as this schedule?
Well, definitely week 2, the Eagles versus the Chiefs. That would be a good matchup again, since the Eagles beat them in the Super Bowl. So, but also Diego, going back to saying Brock Purdy overpaid. He's from my hometown here in Arizona. Don't hate on him.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, actually, fun facts. Yeah, don't hate.
Did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't know that. Okay. All right.
Yeah, proud of Glendale.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
like 49ers, but I like Brock Purdy.
Okay.
His high school was like not too far from me, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
Oh, and another game, it's also the Chiefs because I hate the Chiefs. Not hate, I guess, but them against the Bills week 9. I think that will be a good matchup because the Bills are a really good team. Yeah.
I think that's gonna go.
We already know how that goes.
Yeah, and we'll see where that. Do you know where that one is?
I think it's in Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be a good.
We know how that goes.
Yeah.
Give me the Bills. The playoffs.
Yeah, the
Give me
playoffs.
Chiefs.
Well, they beat the Chiefs.
Well,
Yeah.
the Lions are winning the Super Bowl this year. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
I actually agree.
calm down.
Yeah.
Don't
I
say
could,
the Panthers.
I could see
Yeah,
that.
Lions.
I could definitely
Yeah, I
see.
see them being the Panthers' really only competition in the NFC.
What? Man,
No.
there you go.
Funny.
There you go.
That's so sad.
I'll
love
give
you, man,
the
but there's
Lions
no
the edge.
way.
I'll give the Lions the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, the Lions are
Close though.
Slight edge.
Slight edge.
yeah. The
Slight
Lions
edge.
actually play the Ravens in week 3, so
Ooh.
that should be a game.
Oh,
for
wow.
them.
So two things I want to cover while we have everybody here. One is the Ravens' brutal schedule to start their season, and then the Bears. I want to talk a little bit about the Bears because I think we got somebody on this set that's starting to get really high on Caleb Williams and the Bears. And then we can also touch on how Caleb didn't want to go to the Bears. So those are 3 things overall. So let's start with the Ravens. Start with the Ravens homer here. Lamar Jackson, apologies, C-Pain.
What up?
So, man, dude, are y'all gonna go? What are you guys gonna go to start the season? I guess first 6 games? Is that what's so brutal?
All right, let me pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah,
So
because we want a prediction on the record of
All
what's
right.
gonna happen. And then, so while you look that up, we got a question. What do we think about the Lions playing Thanksgiving and Christmas? Oh, I didn't realize they were playing Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either. I knew they.
I didn't
What?
see the Christmas schedule yet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
haven't
they
seen.
did.
So I know the Chiefs play Christmas,
yes.
but
Oh,
who do
yeah.
the Chiefs? But they play the Broncos.
the-
I think.
Yeah.
The Lions play the Vikings on Christmas.
Christmas.
Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. So thank you for that question. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Out the Vikings.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Cowboys also play on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh wow, man.
the
Yeah. So
There's gonna be
the
good matchups this
Yeah,
year.
right,
really
great
good.
matchup. So yeah, great question, Joe. And so
Yeah.
it looks like the NFL is continuing to take Christmas from the NBA.
Yes.
for sure. Especially with these teams that are going to be playing.
Yes.
My goodness. So I'm not sure what. So last year Christmas was on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that was
So
Steelers Chiefs.
I
Is
don't
it a
know
skip
if it's
year or-
Thursday or if it's Friday. I'm not sure if we're
Yeah, I don't
leaping
know.
yet or not. But yeah, that's going to be.
They're getting their get back
see.
for having the Luka trade right before the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right.
True.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they are.
Keep on messing with the NBA. All right,
Yes.
they're gonna pull something else out. Don't worry about it.
That's what
LeBron get traded.
Wow. Too far.
That's right.
Too far, Diego.
That's,
Let's not do that one.
that's right. That's right.
All right.
Opening weekend, LeBron might retire. Yeah, we're gonna take all the headlines away.
And then you would just see Chris falling to his knees and crying because, oh, that would hurt. All right.
I'll be
sad
fine.
LeBron fans out there. Yeah, I'd be fine.
Will I? Will I? I don't think I will.
Oh, man. So, all right. So, Ravens. How the Ravens going to start this year off?
All right. So,
0-6?
yeah. So, we
2-4.
Okay. Calm down. So, first, we got Ravens Bills. Toss up.
Yeah.
I give the Ravens in the revenge game.
Okay.
Browns, Ravens. Ironically,
Oh, Shador.
this is where I have
Yeah.
one of them having one of their like weird losses.
sleep
Yeah,
on Dylan
I
Gabriel.
can see that.
I'm gonna say they go lose to the Browns, which
Ooh.
might be crazy.
Okay.
The Lions.
Oh, gosh.
I think
Lying
they can
about that.
Nah, not at all. All right, got Baltimore on that one. The Chiefs.
Oh, golly.
Oh yeah.
I believe that they can beat the Chiefs. The Texans. They whooped them on Christmas. The Rams. That might be a loss. So
Jeez.
at best,
Who did they piss off?
4-2, 3-3. That's all I'm saying. It is a very rough start. I don't know who they ticked off. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened in the NFL league office. Who made who mad?
Man.
Because these are like all playoff teams outside of the Browns, and inexplicably they just end up losing to the Browns randomly. It's just it's very weird.
Yeah.
Shador.
So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see
Yeah,
if perfect
let's see how
timing
that-
happens in Cleveland. But
For real.
yeah,
Okay.
I have no idea. I think 4-2.
4-2
4-2 at best.
would be amazing.
At
yeah,
best.
that'd be
I'm
good.
predicting
At
3-3
worst,
would
at
be-
worst,
I'm say 2-4.
yeah, at worst 2-4,
Yeah.
3-3.
Yeah.
And,
Didn't they start off this year 0-2?
they started off 0-2,
They
and then they
did.
went 8
Yeah,
and
yeah,
5,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
made their
I could see something like that
So,
happening.
that's-
Yeah. Ooh-wee. Okay. So let's talk because we're getting a little short on time. So we'll pick up a little bit here. We've got Bears. All right. So T-Pain, you're high on Caleb Williams and the Bears, even though he didn't want to go to Chicago. All right. But now they got, a guy from Detroit
Yep.
over there as their coach. So why are you so high on Caleb and the Bears?
Listen, so after rewatching his highlights, looking up his stats from last year, he threw over 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, less than 6 interceptions. With the worst offensive line at getting sacked 68 times, more than any quarterback in the league. They upgraded their offensive line. You actually have a dude who knows how to operate a functional offense.
Mhm.
So the fact that Caleb was able to do that with, again, everybody can talk about how good their skill position players are. That coaching staff was horrible. In fact, when he went to the reason why he didn't even want to go to the Bears is because that is one of the great cities in the NFL where quarterbacks go to die. Cleveland and Chicago. Historically, you feel me? Jim McMahon and Bernie Kosar are like the two greatest quarterbacks of those organizations.
Yeah.
Not a great list. So
Yeah.
the fact that Ben Johnson has faith in Caleb, I mean, you talked about how Caleb's going to be this year the first Bears quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards, which crazy stat. I can't even believe that. But
That is crazy.
again, they have a very solid defense. Ben Johnson, because you've been hyped as the offensive wonder kid, as the next, great offensive mind in the NFL, you're gonna want to prove it this year.
Yeah.
And again, you're in the division with your old team, so why not stick it to him a couple times and be like, "Hey, this is my show now. Thank you for leading me up, but now I'm the guy now." So
Yeah.
I really like how Chicago could be this
Okay,
year.
you like how
They're
so
my sleeper team,
they're your sleeper
They're
team.
my sleeper
You
team.
definitely have them going to the playoffs.
Yes.
It sounds like if they're your sleeper team.
wild
Okay.
card,
Wild
Definitely
card. Bree, what do you think about the Bears this year? You have any thoughts yet on them?
I mean, I don't want to say too much because I'm a Lions fan, but
Yeah.
but my sister likes the Bears. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there, but I feel like they could possibly do good this year, but not to beat the Lions, obviously, because but
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean they took Ben Johnson from us, so they're not going to get a win out of us either. But I mean, I think they would do
He know how
good
to beat
because
that
Caleb
defense.
Williams.
That's all.
Because Caleb Williams, he is a good quarterback. He just needs to pull it all together with a good team, I guess. So
Yeah. So who can they be? So okay, we're not going to say they're going to finish higher than the Lions, but will they finish higher than the Packers or because I mean the division is stacked now. The Packers or the Vikings. Diego, do you think they can finish higher than either of those teams?
I think they could over the Vikings. I'm not going to predict it, but I could see it happening. Definitely not the Lions or Packers. I think like 8 and 9 is what they're going to do.
Yeah, maybe the Vikings.
Well, if JJ McCarthy starts for the Vikings,
right,
he could be good.
Yeah, it's just unknown. So I mean, I wouldn't put. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's a toss up, really.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough to call. Yeah, a lot of it depends on the Vikings quarterback situation. So yeah, I'm a little leery. I've seen some flashes of Caleb, but he can still hold on to the ball. He held on to the ball a lot at USC.
Exactly.
That concerns me a little bit, and I just don't. I still, at the end of the day, feel as bad as an organization can be. I don't know if I truly buy into that as far as the quarterback killer, because I think if you're really that dude, you can overcome that. The main example I have with that is Joe Burrow. Now again, you can look at his receiver, right? You got an all-world receiver, but I mean, shoot, we were all going into last year with the Bears. All we talked about was how strong they were at receiver, all these moves they made to welcome Caleb in. Why didn't they do all this when they had Justin Fields? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he plays poorly, and it's all, well, it's the Bears, it's the organization. I'm like, I don't know.
I just think in the past they've like evaluated talent badly. Like Trubisky and Fields, like that. And when they left, they didn't do anything crazy. I mean, Caleb, I think that was a great pick. I think he's going to end up being good, and that's just going to show that they just hadn't evaluated talent well earlier, and that they just needed to evaluate it good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, well, great discussion. I know we've got to move on to our last 2 topics and get on out of here because we're about at time. But Bree, we will be looking out for your Will Hernandez interview next week. And congrats on graduation. And we'll be talking to you soon. Welcome.
Perfect.
All right.
Yep. Talk soon.
All right. Bye. All right, y'all. So let's move on here. We got 2 more quick ones, and then we've got to bring Brandon in for his recap. So let's try to go through these a little quicker. So we've got because also, Celtics are about to go into Game 6 and win this game and get to Game 7. So I got to check out the Celtics game here. All right. So we could have, if OKC wins this game, all right, we will have Ant versus SGA. So let's go ahead and prematurely preview this a little bit. That could be the showdown battle of the next generation. If this is the matchup, we know Minnesota's already there. What do you guys think? Diego, start with you. What do you think about this potential showdown for next generation here?
I definitely have OKC 100%. I see something like last year happening because, when they were the underdog against Phoenix, I remember like last year, people weren't as high on the Timberwolves, and they beat them, and they beat Denver. And in the conference finals, they had all this hype, and then just to get gentlemen swept by Luka, and Luka just totally sun Ant. I think the same thing's gonna happen. So everyone was high on the Lakers, and then they beat the Lakers and they beat the Warriors even without Steph, but people still, are high on them for that for some reason. Yeah. And they're gonna come in, and the Thunder are gonna come off a tough 7 games, and the Thunder are gonna just totally shock them. So that's what I have happening.
Okay. I do have the Thunder winning this, but it's going to be closer than people think because of Julius Randle. I think that was a very great trade for Minnesota. It weirds me out because everybody's like, oh, you got rid of the thing that beat Jokic. And then you actually have a guy who's a very good running mate who wants to take the big shots and be in the big moments, unlike a Karl Anthony Towns, which is somebody you need alongside Ant. You can't necessarily, because again, you can have a Rudy, but you need somebody else to help offset the I'll set the offensive load, and I really am grateful for like Julius Randle for this team, even though what he did to my Lakers was
Yeah.
You know, he remembered where he started, and he remembered how we treated him, and then it just it got bad from there. So shout out to Julius. I'm glad that he's had this playoff run to prove that, like, you know, he's one of the better players in the NBA.
I am happy for him. He's doing his thing, playing ball, played great against the Lakers, really went head-to-head with LeBron. He was the perfect matchup to go against LeBron because he's just as big, just as strong, and it really, really negated a lot of the advantage that LeBron typically has when he's in the post because he can just grown man ball people typically, and he couldn't do that against Julius. So Julius was really the difference in that series. Then this past series with the Warriors, you know, he really did his thing against Draymond. Draymond was not able to check him at all. So that does make it interesting. I'm really leery on Minnesota again, like Diego. I don't think they're a team that plays well with everybody patting them on the back and expectation. It seems like once they are expected to win, I don't think they're going to do well in that type of situation. So I think they're a year or two away from being able to handle prosperity. I just don't believe in them past the second round against a good opponent like this, especially by them being favored. If everyone was dogging them and telling them they had no chance, I might believe in them. But with everybody now starting to get on the train, I'm like, I'm leery. I'm leery. And also the fact that I didn't really see the Ant that I expected to see in this last round. He hasn't quite looked like that ferocious Ant that we see flashes of that we saw in like the first few games against the Lakers. To me, Minnesota hasn't really looked all that great since game 3 or 4 of the Lakers series. They just still don't look all that polished as far as what they can be, what they're capable of. Now, maybe they flip it on, you know, we'll see, but I'm high on OKC. I love the pieces that they have. Chet, man, is just scratching the surface. A lot of those guys are just scratching the surface. OKC's got house money this year. Like, if they mess around and win a title now, it's just scary.
If you're going to get a title and still potentially trade for Giannis, which is still insane.
Yeah, just ridiculous. So, yeah, I hope we see it. This will be great. It will, you know, just be another great series. But, yeah, we'll know this weekend what we're going to have. So, again, promo shout out to Lexi's Bussin' Bacon, one of our sponsors. Great cookies, treats here in the North Carolina area, based out of Clayton, but their website is here, Lexi's Bussin' Bacon. Check them out. They've got amazing goods and are at all of our shows at King's, and they'll be at our show at King's giving away some great goods. So check them out and support them and show them some love, please. Great family-owned business. All right, our final topic, Dallas Mavs. The Mavs get the #1 pick. They are going to win the Cooper Flag sweepstakes.
Yes.
So, so excited about this, man. Nico Harris, you know, may have been on to something, getting ahead of everything.
I don't know.
As far as Luka goes, and man, their starting lineup looks scary. It looks especially scary. So we got a comment here from Delcia Thompson, Mom Dukes, the professor, Pawpaw Thompson, my dad. Shout out to Pops. Says the Mavericks are riding the Duke car with 3 players from Duke. All right, so Diego, we know that makes you very happy. So, man, how do you feel about the Dallas Mavericks basically being Duke South?
I mean, I think it's a good move because, I mean, Duke, we have all the top prospects. I mean, all the top guys want to go to Duke, and then, you know, the Mavericks make the right picks by drafting all our guys. And I like how you put the 77 on, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to pick an available number for him to get.
It's available.
That number's available. So.
It is available.
Y'all wilding all right.
This is the future face of the NBA right here, Cooper Flag. And I just think it's great that he gets to go to a good team and play with all these vets that are experienced and that have just went to the finals 2 years ago. I mean, last year. So, I mean, yes.
Okay. All right.
Great.
All right.
And Nico is a genius. He's been saying defense wins championships.
Yeah.
He took all the slander, and now he is going to have the guy who's going to become the best two-way player in the NBA. This He trusted the process, and he knew
Trust the
AD
process.
got hurt, and this is what it resulted to.
Yeah.
So
fair and square draft,
Fair and
lottery. I
square.
should say lottery.
all right, so yeah, a 1.8% chance of this happening, and nobody thinks that, hey, our ratings are down. Let's trade your best player to the best market in the NBA. Hey, because you did that, let me sweeten the deal. You go get the next guy to add to your championship team who fits a role that you need perfectly. Nobody thinks that this is rigged. Nobody. It's just
Fair
rigged.
and square.
Just luck.
No.
1.8% chance.
Same thing happened
If
last year.
anything,
So-
if anything you have in life has a
exact same
2%
thing.
chance of happening, would you take it?
Okay, but we
The
have to look.
same
Okay,
thing
but
happened last year.
let's look at this because I was pretty good in math in school. All right, so you can look at it that way. All right, but who had more than a 14 or 12% chance of winning it? Right. So what team? So are we going to say who had the worst record?
Wizards.
The Wizards. Okay,
And they are picking
So-
like 5th or 6th.
right. They had that. So they had like a 90% chance to not win it. Right. So every team had such a finite chance to win, and they flatten the odds to prevent tanking. Also, you've got Ernst & Young, all right, who is a well-respected accounting firm, okay? So they are a part of it. So basically, if it's rigged, okay, like late David Stern said, if it's rigged, then we're saying the NBA is committing a federal crime, okay? And we're also saying that Ernst & Young is in it.
Yep.
And we're saying that every other team in the NBA is in. Do you know how many people would have to be a part of this in order for this to be rigged?
Exactly. They need the other teams to be on board.
And it's not it's not leaked at all. It's not. It's just they just have a complete cover up that everybody is on board with.
All right,
Okay, let's send Cooper Flag.
Just a team in a play-in versus a team. All right, we're gonna get into that. But one question I want to ask you before we go is: do you
Yes.
think the NFL should have a lottery draft?
Yes,
lottery?
absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely,
All right, man.
absolutely.
Ugh,
Yes,
y'all killing me.
The
today.
NFL
many.
should definitely have. They should not. You should not have just the worst team get the number one pick. Heck, in my fantasy football draft that I ran, I had it to where the last team did not get the first pick. Like I had it to where it was staggered. So you had to, if you weren't going to make the playoffs, then you had incentive to win because the team that had the best winning percentage, once they were knocked out, was the team that I had to pick first.
Right.
So you need to have an incentive for winning. So yes, I think there should definitely be a lottery in the
But my
NFL.
thing is like, okay, it's a 17-game sample size, and people are trying to impress other teams and show that they're talented so that they can get another contract. So like I feel like tanking isn't like as big of a problem in the NFL. The Browns suck because the Browns suck because again, they chose Deshaun Watson, he got injured and was a very terrible quarterback. And that whole they had crazy injuries. You feel me?
Right.
Titans sucked because again, Will Levis, they didn't have that guy. I feel like tanking is like a very NBA centric issue because that whole trust the process mess back in like 14, 15, and 16. You
Bigger
feel me?
issue in the NBA.
That's a
for
much
sure.
bigger issue. I feel like in the NFL, because there are like jobs on the line, it's like a finite amount of games and stuff that you can prove that, hey, I'm actually good at this. I feel like it's less of an issue. That's why like I wouldn't want a lottery. I do now with like how the draft is set up. I do feel like, okay, the players going to immediately bad situations. If you like win a Heisman, it's like, hey, you're going to straight into dysfunction. I don't like that for the players, but as for the teams, I don't really see the issue. But
Yeah, I love to have it. And I guess my retort to that would be like, what does it hurt to have a lottery in the NFL? Like
let the Panthers go 2-15 and we all of a sudden not be able to get the guy that could save our franchise. I think Panthers fans would be pretty upset about that. If all of a sudden you're picking 6th and you can't get the main person that you want to get.
Brandon has created a tournament. Brandon has created a tournament whose team seed 11 through 15 face off and the winner gets the number one pick. I like that. Yeah, like we need to incentivize winning. Okay. You know, you should not be rewarded for losing. So yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. But shout out to Dallas Mavs, 2026 champions for sure. And yeah, man, Nico, everyone, was getting on them and getting on the franchise. But actually, me and Diego, we were on this. We were taking up for them.
Yeah, we're taking up for now. I think they didn't get a fair shot.
Y'all take it out for him because of y'all hatred for Luka. That's a different.
Eddie,
you trade Eddie.
He has a jersey. I have a Luka jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let the Knicks trade Jalen Brunson to the Lakers or something, and then you'd be like, "What are the Knicks doing? What's going on?"
Yeah, that's Jalen Brunson. That's Jalen Brunson. It's totally different.
Oh, that's totally different from Luka. All right, man.
Yes,
All right.
Yes. So Joe has a question about the Vegas rumors. So
For
the
expansion or
no, I think Joe, can you expound on that? Because
it was about the Mavs moving to Vegas.
Moving to Vegas.
Expansion.
Yeah. Nah. I don't see that happening.
Staying right in Dallas.
They're staying right in.
Yeah.
They're staying right in
Dallas.
Yeah.
Listen, you move Luka and you move them to Vegas. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Nah, they're staying right in Dallas.
They already got Cooper Flag.
I think they will actually end up probably adding a franchise there at some point, whatever. But I don't think the Mavs will move there.
Yeah.
I guess who might own it? No, we're not going.
No.
Talk about.
It's not gonna be LeBron.
Okay, let LeBron keep on talking about the lottery's rigged and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. Good luck getting a franchise, my man. Good luck with that. All right. Let's bring on our guy, Brandon Bean, who's going to tell us why the lottery is rigged, as well as give us his 3-minute take on all that we talked about, and also kind of drop some pearls on some things that's going on in the world of sports. So, Brandon, man, we're ready for you to enlighten us with these last 3 minutes, man. What do you want to hit first?
Obviously the NBA draft lottery.
All right. Let's hit it, man.
I feel like I think the reason why I feel like it is that there's a like a pros and cons to it. Obviously, people gonna say, hey, we tired of seeing top college prospects, in bad organizations wasting their talents and careers away. Let's them, to a contender. But if we do that, now it's like, okay, well, how you expect these bottom feed teams get better if they can't get the top prospects every year? Mm-hmm. So there's that. That's why I said I'm not for NFL trying with the lottery, because then you're gonna be sending, like, imagine if that was the case, imagine Ashton Genty on the Kansas City Chiefs. Or like the Eagles, or, any, well-run organization. Okay. Now, if you're like, Carolina or the Saints or these struggling franchises,
because they
are they're going to be thinking like, well,
it's okay, Diego.
How you going to, but they're going to be looking at the NFL like, well, how you going to tell us it's parity or competitive balance, and you sending all the top college guys to the contenders?
Yeah.
So you can't say, oh, it's competitive balance, but you're sending Cooper Flag to Dallas, a team that was just in the finals a year ago. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's not like parity to me. That feels like that's a competitive imbalance.
Okay.
So that's why I suggest, have everybody to create a tournament, so that way, like, you have these bottom feed teams.
I love that.
Out, let's see who gets the number one pick. So that way it's like, okay, they earn that pick. Mm-hmm. And, whoever loses, hey, you get the second pick, that team gets the third pick, you get the fourth pick, and you just take whoever's best available. But at least that avoids you from, tanking or whatever.
Right.
Just taking the season.
Now
you have to go out. Now you have to go out and earn it, much less just tanking the season.
For sure. So we'll have a lottery playoff.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
For as like, obviously the WNBA is tonight. It's gonna be an interesting season. Hopefully everybody stays healthy, even though we have a lot of injuries to start the season.
Yeah.
Sure. Celtics could win in 7 if New York doesn't choke this game tonight. Parity.
Right.
I felt like it is kind of overrated a little bit because I feel like at times fans want parity, but at the same time they want to see a dynasty. So they can't really make up their mind at times. It's kind of like watching the NCAA tournament and saying, well, I like upsets, but I want to see the best remain still in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because we just saw what happened in the men's Final Four and the national championship game. That was like probably better than the last two Final Fours and last two national championship games.
It was.
So I prefer that over like the UConn San Diego State game or like in college football, the Georgia TCU game one year. Right. So it's like, I think for me, I'd rather see a competitive tournament, but also I need to see a competitive final as well.
Okay.
Same thing with the NBA. Like, yes, like make the NBA playoffs competitive, but at least make it the NBA finals, watchable. Like we can't go into the finals and be like, oh, it's Pacers Knicks Knicks Thunder or Thunder Pacers or, T-Wolves Knicks or T-Wolves Pacers. Hopefully I'm still banking on Celtics and the Nuggets, even though the Celtics won't have Jason Tatum. That's probably the best possible matchup left.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to because I feel like if we don't get neither of those teams in the finals, I fear that it'll become unwatchable like the Bucks-Suns series 4 years ago.
Yeah, that.
The bubble in 2020.
And they had the Heat in there.
The 2013, obviously the Nuggets Heat finals.
Right.
Pretty much last year's finals. And then the 2000.
And Brandon, we gotta cut, man, too. So we're out of time.
Yeah, and the 2003 finals with the Spurs and Nets. But WNBA, happy for NFL season's back, and hopefully we'll get a competitive NBA finals.
All right. We'll be looking for it, man. Ooh, all right, Brandon. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, hey, again, quick promo we got to run. You can get your merch at thepickempros.com. You want to check that out. We got new stuff dropping every week, so definitely want to get your fire merch coming out in all different colorways and whatnot. So we will be back next week on Friday, same time, 7 p.m. Shout out to everyone for checking us out. We are going to get on out of here. Got a new little outro, so we're going to play that. So you'll want to take a look at that. But, hey, man, y'all ready to check out this Boston Knicks game?
Yep. Let's see it.
All right.
See it.
All right. Yeah. It's going to be good, man. I can't wait. And, as far as the injuries, one thing that we will probably touch on next week, I want to talk about AAU. And because we want to get down to the root of, okay, why are we having all these injuries, especially Achilles injuries?
Gotcha.
With people that, okay, Dame was a little older, but, Tatum, is what, like 26, 27, right in there. And you got a lot of younger guys that are getting these injuries. Is this a result of AAU?
Oh,
and not necessarily, we got load management in these different things, but I just wonder what that correlation would be. I mean, Diego's got a tournament tomorrow, playing 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like these kids, they're playing year round, all the time. They're not getting a break. So definitely want to talk about that. And when we're at Kings, we actually will have a lot of, folks that are heavy in the AAU game. So this is something for us to talk about later. So a little teaser on that one. All right. Well, let's get on out of here. We appreciate y'all. Love. Let's check out this game. It looks like it's tight. So we know we're going to pull this out. All right. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Pick 'em pros.
Pick 'em pros.
All right. Later.
Pick 'em pros is the show you've been waiting for. In the know, kicks and clothes and your favorite sport. Let it sell, NFL Link in and take the tour.
Yeah, game flow, they know. Not your same old, nah. Come and see the double D's, Derek and Diego. Yeah. Dropping the knowledge you want, professional college and on. Locking and follow the fun, a dynamic duo, father and son. You in the mix with the greatest, we'll get you acquainted with Christopher Davis. Stick with the Lakers, but picking your favorites. We changing the game and updating the playlist. And you know we gotta show love for the ladies and shout out Brianna, the future of females in sports and reporters. So link up and follow to show you supporting. It's a major wave, keeping you up on the latest games, bringing the stats, opinions, and facts, breaking down all the greatest plays. Special guests showing love, all the fans show the same. We the best, number one, you already know the name.
Pick'em Pros is the show you've been waiting for. In the know, kissing clothes and your favorite sport. Let it flow, NFL, NBA, and more. Making your day for sure. Link in and take the tour.
Get started on the right track with a Pick'em Pros anthem. Stop random and dance on tandem. Want a pair of sneakers, I was so eager. And a phone club featuring a fandom. When it comes to the right pick, they're all psychic. Even T-Pin's psychic. Boom, the activity is seismic. On a mount so high, can't climb it. Wanna be on a team that elevates at a better rate than a featherweight versus a heavyweight. There ain't no better way, gotta let them demonstrate. Second to none with the numbers that generate. Setting real goals with the extra points like field goals. Never taking defeat like steel toes, and they blowing up on a real though. Without them you would never know what team is on an island. Every social platform shouldn't be that hard to find them. From the north, from the south, east and west. Just remember that the Father always knows best.
Pick'em Pros is the show you've been waiting for. In the know, kissing clothes and your favorite sport. Let it flow, NFL, NBA, and more. Making your day for sure. Link in and take the tour.